Greetings, this is Mahogany Homeschooler, and I'm going to show you today how we organize our homeschool library. I had a mom inbox me and ask me how we obtain books over the years and what we do to keep them organized. So pardon the mess of books down here, because we're actually working on getting another bookshelf and adding those books to those shelves. If I don't get shelves, I'm probably going to end up getting some crates and stacking the crates. I'll show you those in a minute. But at the top, I have homeschool resource books. These books consist of pretty much how-to books. They talk about homeschooling methods, different homeschooling styles. This book has tons of resources in it for homeschoolers. So most of the books that I use are on the very top shelf. I have a lot of holistic and herbal books up here. The children don't go up here. This shelf again is a shelf that consists of books that I mainly read. I may pull some books down occasionally for the children to sit down with me and we'll discuss some things, but these are mainly the books that I and my husband read. Down here is where we have their books, pardon me, but they're doing a whole bunch of different stuff in the background. Here we have the science section. These are all their science books. I tend to purchase books based on whatever subject they're working on at the time. So let's say they're working on geology. I would purchase used books that are relative to the study of geology. Or if they're studying the weather, I would get books that are relative to the weather, storms, and things like that. So this whole section is science. These DK books are really good. I like these books. They have a lot of pictures, a lot of information. You can actually get these on Amazon used for like $1 or $2. But pardon me. We have habitats here. Well, here we have storms, which probably should go over here, but we have animal habitats. We have books dealing with the ocean. Then we have a whole section of animals over here. This is nothing but animals. And then down here we have social studies and geography books. Here we have it from the African diaspora, well, from the beginning, African beginnings, through the diaspora, through slavery, through Reconstruction. It kind of goes through history in a line so that I can just pull it out and I don't have to worry about sifting through the books. Here we have books on different countries and books that are relative to geography. Basics like maps and water globes and dealing with latitude and longitude and making your own maps and all that. Down here is kind of miscellaneous, a lot of just storybooks. We had one section over here that was just basically Native Americans. We were doing a whole study on Native Americans, but these are all just relative, any book to pick up and read. Down here we have geography books. What is this? Oh, 1001 questions. So this is an atlas, another atlas. A lot of atlases, geography books. This is a whole set of stuff. Here we have a lot of geography books, and we have books that are dealing with the civil rights movement. So these are kind of just really big books that wouldn't fit on the other shelf. And then over here we ran out of space, so my husband brought crates home and I started using the crates. So excuse the mess, we're still working on it, but these are read-along books. These are little chapter books for beginning reading. I'm going to be introducing these to my 5-year-old. Some of them she can read, some of them she can't. We read them together. Down here, more just reading books. And then there's a set of encyclopedia type books down there. and then there's just like a pile of books. And then we have tons of books in the basement, so we are working on getting another shelf. But what I would say is, when you're working on your homeschool library or your in-home library, just pick up books that you're interested in at the time. You don't have to worry about picking up random books, although I do that from time to time, especially if I find them cheap and I end up utilizing them later. Get subject-related books. That way you're not overwhelming yourself, your household, with books that you're not going to be using. And eventually you'll add it up. This is years and years and years and years and years worth of collecting books. And buy used. If you can, purchase used. I stress used. I've spent a fraction of the price for all these books as opposed to purchasing them all brand new. I've been gifted books. A lot of these are ex-library books that were going to be thrown in the trash. Some of these books were worth purchasing new. A lot of these books that I read, I purchased new. But all these books, educational books, the majority of these I purchased used. So this is how we organize our library. Hopefully we'll have an update and it'll look better. But I hope that this helped. Peace.